Okay, so today we're going to be solving this problem, which is to prove that lines AB and lines DE are parallel to each other. So we're going to start by having these shapes, and I've copied them onto my notebook, so hopefully they look a lot like the shapes that are in the actual book. And the first thing we want to do when we start a proof is we're going to write down what we are actually trying to prove. So I'm going to write, if I can write today, we want to show that lines AB are parallel to lines DE. So when we're looking at these two triangles, we already know that AC is congruent to CE and that BC is congruent to CD. And the next things that we're going to write in our proof is that since we know that vertical angles are congruent, that means that angles ACB and DCB are congruent. So let's write that. Vertical angles tells us that the measure of angle ACB is congruent to the measure of angle DCB. So knowing that these two angles are congruent, we have enough information to say that our triangles are congruent because of side angle side. By side angle side, triangle ACB is congruent to triangle DCE. Actually, that'll be ECD. After we know the triangles are congruent, we then know that all the angles inside the triangle are congruent because of congruent parts of congruent triangles. This means that all parts of the triangle are congruent because of CPCT. So then we know that this one is equal to this one, and this one is equal to this one. We also know that this side is equal to this side. So using the next step we're going to take is using the alternate exterior angle theorem. If we consider these lines to be transversals, then they will transverse, and since the lines are transversing and the angles and the alternate angles are congruent, that means that the transverse lines are parallel. So using the alternate exterior angle theorem, lines AB are parallel to line DE, which is what we were trying to prove in the first place.